Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, More Than a Mortgage. I'm your host, Gavin Sessions. This show is all about introducing you to folks in our industry. Sometimes these conversations are very real estate specific, other times they're not. But really what we're excited about is getting to hear the story of our guest, to kind of understand the why of the industry that they got into. And today I'm excited to have Mack Miller on our podcast today. Mack, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you making the time to do this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so cool. Let's kick it off with a fun question. Let's just assume you didn't need money in your life. How would you spend your time either today or this week or this month or, forever? How would you answer that question?
Honestly, I would probably be doing the same thing. I genuinely love what I do and I love helping people. So it would probably be something, if it's not helping people find a home, it would be something in community service, giving to, helping people, because that's what I love doing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you find purpose in what you do by actually helping people. And of course, we do get paid for the industry that we're in, but it sounds like that's not your motivation.
Yeah, that's not my motivation at all.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, hey, we would love to hear your story. We would love to understand why you're in the business that you're in. You maybe just kind of teased us with an answer there. You can go back as far as you like, but what we want to accomplish today is obviously highlight your story. You're an awesome person in this industry. We want to help people. If they don't know you already, we'd love them to be introduced to you. Our goal with social media always is that people would think that they know us and that they would, I think I kind of like that person. And then ideally what it does is open the door to build relationship and ultimately build trust, right? So that's what we're trying to accomplish here today. So yeah, we'd love to hear your story. We want to honor that. We want to shine a light on that. And then at the same point in time, like we talked about before, we're trying to answer the question that a lot of us in this industry, whether it's real estate, whether it's mortgage, whether it's financial advising, whatever you find yourself in, we generally all have a problem of needing more eyeballs, right? In other words, we need to become findable. We're looking to be found when somebody needs us for the service that we offer. So we'd love to answer that question as well as we kind of work through it. So long intro there, but yeah, feel free to start wherever you like. We're excited to kind of hear about you and how you got started.
So I got started a little over 8 years ago, and the reason why was we built our first house in 2018, and we were unrepresented with a builder. And it was not the best experience. And so that kind of led me to this path of I didn't want anyone to have to go through that experience again. And so it really made me passionate about wanting to help people. I was in the medical field before, so I have always been in a customer service type role. And so I have always loved helping people. Just not in a different capacity, right?
Sure.
And so when I found out I was pregnant with our first son, Cash, I decided I didn't want to put him into daycare. I wanted something that was a little bit more flexible, right? We always say flexible, and then we get into these careers and it's a little bit different. But so I went to real estate school and haven't regretted it since.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you said something that I just want to make sure we clarify just for the folks that may not be as close to the business as we are. What does unrepresented mean? And what does that look like? Is that somebody walking into an open house and falling in love? And
so we were driving around, looking at houses, and we stumbled across a subdivision and walked ourselves into the sales office. And we didn't have an agent. So we just ended up signing papers, picked out a house. And so we didn't have anyone that helped us through the process. We relied on their sales team to help us. So we didn't have anyone advocating for us. So when things went wrong, we didn't have that support.
Yeah. So someone that's listing a home, right? Whose best interest do they have in mind? The seller, right?
Right.
So if you're a listing agent selling someone's house, your best interest, you want to have your seller's best interest in mind, right? So then it's probably really difficult for you, if you're that listing agent, to then also try to have the buyer's best interest in mind, right?
Yeah.
Some folks like to double in these deals, right? And because the compensation, of course, is potentially double, right? So that's nice. But then you find yourself in the middle of trying to tote the line of being having the best interest for both parties, which is really difficult, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So you wouldn't advocate for that is what you're saying.
Right. So I always tell everyone, yes, you don't necessarily need an agent, right? But it's in your best interest to have one. So whether you're buying or selling, you need that representation. You need your own representation. So I'm very passionate about that.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's well said. And on the listing side, right, whether it's a new home or whether it's a resale home, that listing agent is not evil if they were to double end the deal, right?
Right.
There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It just, you're not putting your best foot forward as a home buyer if you're not bringing your own representation in.
Right. And I mean, there's always times, right, where us as listing agents do have the opportunity to represent that buyer, but it is also, that comes with pros and cons at the same time, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You also said something that I like, which is flexibility, right? So as a mortgage professional, I also have flexibility. Shoot, we're recording a podcast here today in the middle of a work week, right? So lots of flexibility. But one of the things I always say is with this job comes flexibility, but zero freedom. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because ultimately, right, it's nice to be able to volunteer at their school, right? It's nice to be able to go to every football game and baseball game and dance practice and everything like that. But we are also responsible for everything else and prospecting and filling our pipeline and doing all of that. So the second that kind of falls off, then, we have a lot on the table too, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we get the peaks and valleys because of that, what you just explained, right? It's like, hey, you've got a season where maybe you're not super busy from a transaction standpoint. And so you can devote your free time or your available time towards marketing and trying to make yourself more findable, right? Or find people to be able to help. But then inevitably, when you get busy, then you take your eye off the ball from a marketing standpoint, right? Because you're working to get transactions closed. And then inevitably you close the transactions, it's like, oh, crud, my pipeline's empty.
yeah.
Right. So it's that kind of forever challenge of how do we somehow even out the peaks and valleys? Mm-hmm. Any insight there? That's a big question.
So that is a big question. And I think that a lot of us in the industry or even in sales in general, right, struggle with that. And so the bulk of my business does come from sphere of influence and referrals. And so nurturing your database and loving on your people. And that's kind of like where my slogan, where it's like more than, a house, right? Or, is because it truly is more than just selling them a house, right? Like we're finding them a home, but it goes way beyond that. This is a friendship that I am making with these people. Just because I sold you a house doesn't mean that I'm done talking to you on the day that we sign those docs, right?
Right.
Like these are people that I have in my life forever, Like I love their family. I love their kids. I love, everyone inside their family, and they're sending me their people. And so I think making the most of every transaction and going far beyond that is what helps those peaks and those valleys, right?
100%. Yeah. If you can care for the people that are already in the four walls of your business, right? And continue to nurture and care for them, provide them forever value, then all of a sudden, then when they're ready to transact again, then it's like you're very top of mind.
Yeah. Because we're doing it all the time anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes it easier, than having to, I don't know, I guess go find it in other ways because I'm already loving on my people. So
yeah, I think the old adage is it's easier to retain your clients than it is to go find a new one.
Right.
Right. For sure. So I'd love to actually hear tactically, what does that look like for somebody that does close with you or your team? And what does that nurture or what does that continual relationship management look like? What's that value add look like? But before we get there, maybe let's rewind just a little bit. You said you got into this business about 8 years ago. You were looking for flexibility because you were a first-time mom to your little man, Cash. And I think he's 8 now. Is that right? So that went fast. I guess you do the math, 8 years ago, and he's 8. So it makes sense. When you first got into this business, you obviously didn't know what you didn't know. And 8 years later, your business probably looks quite a bit different and probably a lot more mature than maybe it did when you first started. So what did that look like when you first got started? You got your real estate license, and then what?
Yeah, I joined Silver Creek. And going from a medical field where that was like my second family, and now I'm just solo, right? I didn't
Yeah.
join a team. I was a solo agent, and it was very lonely and it was hard. And so I just kind of had to, they don't teach you anything in real estate school, right? I don't know if that was like when you went to, mortgage school, or I don't know how that works. I'm sure it's probably very similar, right? But they don't teach you what you really need to know to survive in the real world. It is not like that. So I made a really good friend, Haley Keppel, which we're actually in business now together. She's on the team. And we kind of just survived together. She actually went to John L. Scott. And so we talked all the time. But I had to just figure it out the hard way, right?
Yeah.
And so it was, doing prospecting every single day, sitting open houses. Actually, the first deal that I had was I listed our own home, and I actually brought the buyer to that. So thank goodness, because I didn't know what I was doing. And so, yeah, I just had to figure it out. I didn't have anyone to really help,
Yeah.
And that first year, I just wanted to make what I made at the office, and I did that. But it was really nurturing my database and letting everyone know, in a tasteful way that, hey, I'm here to help you if you need that. So.
Yeah. Kind of ironic. We talked when we opened about the importance of being represented. And so it's ironic that your first transaction was actually kind of a double ender, but it was your own home. So it wasn't a traditional double ender.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny that started that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were relocating out of state, and they wanted it as a rental.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
It was
Worked
pretty
out.
Interesting. Yeah, it did.
So your first year goal was to replace your income from your medical profession?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you achieved that.
I achieved it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing. A lot of folks do not do that in their first year, whatever type of sales role they're getting into, right? Especially if it's 100% commission.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've noticed that a lot with, I think they say that, right? Like your first year, you probably won't even sell one, or maybe it's one or something like that, right?
Well, and I think a lot of agents get into the business because they have a family member that says, hey, if you get your license, you can sell my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which for those of us that are full-time in the industry, we're like, I wish that the bar was a little higher to prevent somebody from getting their license so easily and, cherry picking that one transaction and taking it out of the overall availability of transactions. So
yeah,
not the best.
It happens. It's okay.
But well said on they don't teach you anything in real estate school, right? You're not the first person I've heard say that. I didn't go to real estate school, so I don't have that experience. I had to, go to mortgage school, for lack of a better way to say it. And I would agree with you. They don't teach you how to be a salesperson, because that's really what we are, right? But at the same point in time, nobody likes to be sold.
Right.
Right? So even if someone taught you how to be a salesperson, maybe that actually wouldn't translate very well to actually making sales.
Yeah. Well, it's not, yes, it's sales, but it goes far beyond that, right? And I think we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. It's not, this is the biggest transaction that a lot of people are ever going to make, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not like we're just showing up to, I don't want to say like a car lot, but kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot different than that. And
It is.
so it shouldn't be treated that way.
No, and the sales cycle is generally so much longer versus showing up to a car lot, right? You actually could show up to a car lot today, drive a car off in a couple hours. That might be a miserable experience, right? Depends on the dealer and the person you end up working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be quick. That does not happen in real estate. And we wouldn't want it to, frankly.
Right.
This is too big of a transaction, as you mentioned, to have it go that quickly.
Yeah.
And often people don't even know what they want when they get into this. They just have been told, hey, I should buy a house. Okay, well, let's unpack that. Let's have that conversation. Let's see if that's a good idea for you, right? And that process can take weeks, if not months, right? Just kind of depending on where they are. So
yeah.
So the first year, you replaced the income that you left behind, which is amazing. We already applauded that. That's super cool. What did the second year look like for you? And then ultimately, your business looks different now today from a team standpoint, right, than it did.
Yeah.
You started as a solo person, And you even mentioned that it's kind of lonely. I would agree with you. Let me ask this question. What's the importance of community in this industry?
Oh, it's huge. I don't think that there's enough community, one as in like agent to agent community
Yeah.
or industry partner, right? Community.
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of lacking, but then also like we're heavily involved in the community, right?
Sure.
I think that that is something that's very important.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure. So you built a friendship in Haley during real estate school.
Yeah.
You guys must have been in class together, like in
yeah,
real
we sat
person.
right next to each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a fun way for friendships to develop. It's actually a normal way, right? Kids meet friends in school. And
yeah, she'll tell
sometimes
you a story. She was like, she brought it up the other day. It was kind of funny. She was like, I remember you sitting next to me in real estate school and saying, I'm just here to replace my TJ Maxx budget.
That's what she said?
Yeah, that's what I said to her. And I was like, well, that is partly true. Like I did just want to make enough money to shop at TJ Maxx. That was true.
That's funny.
But I did look at her in class and be like, one day we will have a team.
Okay.
And so it just kind of has like, it's evolved.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So quick relationship with Haley. You had a moment where you maybe didn't say it, but I'm going to be in a team with Haley.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, how many years later did that actually happen?
So we started the team in 21.
Okay.
And we got up to like 12 girls, I think, at one time. And now there is 4 or 5 of us total now.
So I have no idea what it looks like to start a real estate team. I've never been a real estate agent. Hopefully there's people listening to this that are also in that same camp and might be interested in what does that look like. So you got your real estate license. You went to a local brokerage in Silver Creek. You maintained a community relationship specifically with Haley and probably with others, right? Because it's really difficult to ever do something meaningful and be successful with any measurability, any measure of success if you're totally alone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a group of us that kind of stuck together from real estate school. And I feel like every time, when you're in classes or whatever, you kind of just always form a bond.
Yeah.
And so, we had that. And now it's obviously kind of evolved, right? Like I have agents, Macy and, things like that outside, obviously, that I rely on, all the time. That's kind of like to lean on, right? The form community.
She doesn't realize your volume's up. Sorry.
So yeah, forming the team, it's been trial and error. I didn't have a leader at the time that was like, hey, this is exactly how you should set it up. And this is my recommendation. And Silver Creek provided us with some tools and things like that. But other than that, we were just kind of like, hey, this is probably what we should be doing.
Yeah.
If I would restart it now, I would do things differently.
Yeah.
And we have evolved over time and, changed things up and things like that. I now have a coach that I have helping me kind of revamp things and help, right? We all kind of need that. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
So in 21, we started that and it's been great. It's something that I didn't know that I needed.
Okay.
We didn't anticipate it being all women, but it was something that has ended up being a blessing, I guess.
Nice. So a couple questions. What is the name of your team? Let's get that out there.
So it's Meridian Boise Real Estate, and we go by MBRE.
Okay, cool. So folks probably would recognize that a little bit. I do. I'm glad you said it. Meridian Boise Real Estate, MBRE. Okay. And you'd been in this industry for about 3 years, I think, when you decided it was time to start a team. What was the inspiration for that? Did someone just say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do as your real estate career advances and grows? Did you go to the library and find a book that said building a real estate team for dummies? Like, what was the inspiration
honestly,
there?
It was to help new agents.
Okay.
Just because I was alone, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want anyone to feel that loneliness, right? I wanted to start leading agents, and I wanted to create a mentorship to where I could truly make a difference in the industry. And that's where forming the team started. Is I wanted to create an impact for other agents to where they didn't have to just fumble through, is that they were able to come on the team and have everything ready to go for them. And they had someone to go on listing appointments with them, and they had someone to teach them how to open up a lockbox and, have everything planned out for them so that they could truly be successful. Because by this point in 21, this career had already changed my life. Right?
Sure. I mean,
I don't have a college degree. So making, this kind of money, by year 3 it's life changing.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have that and be able to potentially have impact other lives, to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
I love that. I mean, we could end it right there. Mic drop moment. There's our shorts for promotion, all the things. Like, that's just amazing. And it's a wonderful heart to want to be able to give and to be able to improve on a problem that you experienced, right? Which, again, it's really difficult to do anything meaningful if you're trying to go it alone.
Yeah.
If you rewind back to your real estate school experience, you said you kind of built a little tribe of people. And again, looking back to our days in school, right, whether it was high school, middle school, whatever, our friendships came out of the fact that we were in school together. I think there's in the church, I think you see this as well. It's like, hey, I want to be in community. Well, what's the best way to build community? Obviously, attending church is great, but if you can find a group of people to actually be along shoulder to shoulder serving together, I do feel like relationships are always going to be a byproduct of folks doing something in service together, or whether it's you're in school together or whatever that looks like, right? Whereas relationships, like something meaningful is not always a byproduct of just building relationships, right? So
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it's well said. I think very, very noble and astute of you to be able to kind of notice, oh, this is what I experienced coming out of real estate school, and it was hard. I wonder if I can make that easier on others and give them a value to be able to not struggle the way that you did, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, there's always there needs to be a passion for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or else there's not a purpose. If that makes sense, right? There needs to be
Yes. Very, very well said.
And so I feel like that's where that kind of came from. So.
Yeah, I was on a coaching call actually earlier this week, and we'll talk about coaching for a second here in a minute, but there was a loan officer on the call, and he just seemed a little bit passionless. Does that make sense? Like he was told he's supposed to do X, Y, and Z in order to, to basically build a sphere, right? To build relationships with referral partners, whatever that looks like. But he didn't have, I could tell, like he didn't have a drive or a want or a passion for doing it a specific way. And then I think for me, there's a head to heart kind of highway that somebody could tell me all day long, hey, go do this, go do this, go do this. But until it travels from head to heart and it becomes something that I actually want, I think it's much more difficult to be successful, right?
Right.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. I mean, I could give you a book of leads, right? And say, hey, call these. But if you're not truly passionate about cold calling, then you're not, right? You're not going to want to do that.
There's probably very few people that are.
Right. I mean, it's not for everyone.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's not how I made my business. But if I said, hey, here's your sphere list, here's your database, go connect with them, you would be all about that. Right.
Yes.
And so, cause that's right up your alley. Right. And
right.
so, I think that's kind of, when we talk about more eyes and everything, it's kind of like, okay, well, what do you truly enjoy? What brings you happiness?
Yeah.
Right. And speak to that, because you have to build that know, like, and trust factor, or else people aren't going to truly know who you are. Right.
Yeah. Super well said. So you would answer the question of, hey, how do people find me, or how do I become more findable? It's like, well, let's identify what I'm passionate about first and foremost. Right.
Yeah.
And then let's live in that passion. And out of that passion is going to come activity, and is going to come genuine authenticity that people are going to notice, right?
Yeah.
People know when they're on the receiving end of real authentic value.
Right.
versus
I may not be everyone's cup of tea, right?
No.
I mean, I've got 3 kids. Half of them are on showings with me, right? They come with me to some listing appointments. They may be at a closing. They may,
Yeah.
but if you're, that may not be for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know that because it's going to be on social media, or I'm going to tell you, right?
Yep.
So I feel like if you're, truly authentic and you let people know that, then it's going to, one, draw people to you, or it's not,
Yeah. I think there's freedom too in realizing not everybody's going to be for you, right? And not everybody's going to be for me. And that's okay, right?
Yeah.
And how quickly can we identify who our top 25% is, right?
Right.
I say this on almost every podcast, so forgive me if I say it again, but like 25% of people are going to be 100% for you and they want you to win, right? And then on the flip side, 25% of people are going to be like, not a fan. I'm going the other direction. And then you've got 50% in the middle that are at best indifferent, right? They're like, oh, sure, whatever, right? So if we can, as quickly as possible, identify for either our sphere or our referral partner relationships or whatever that looks like, who are the people that actually care about me and that are for me, then all of a sudden you've got a great competitive advantage with those people because you've got relationship with those people, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, well, let me say it this way. You got into this business, COVID happened. We all know that story, right? That's a similar time that I got into the business. In some ways, we can look at that and be like, wow, what a great time to get into this career path. Housing was exploding, rates hit the floor. Everybody and their mother, it seemed like, was looking for a place to either buy or refinance. Like that was a crazy market in not 19 necessarily, but certainly 20 and 21. And 21 was when you launched your team.
Yeah.
So a good market, I would say, to launch into.
Yeah, it brought in 21, we had the most new agents join the team. And it was great, right?
Yeah.
Do I want COVID days to come back? No.
No.
I don't. I definitely, would have a market like today rather than COVID. But yeah, it was wild because obviously we had the market was crazy, right? And then starting a team and having to help all the new agents, that came on and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a wild ride.
So your team's growth probably actually mirrored pretty well the industry's growth, right? Like how many people jumped into real estate in 21?
Yeah, it was
as
a lot.
a total, a lot, right? And so no surprise that your team would grow and mirror that similar growth.
Yeah.
What's it look like to build a team, right? So, okay, so pretend I'm a solo agent right now. Maybe I use a TC, right? What would it look like for me to build a team? What are those steps? What is that? What's the complexity there?
So it's a little different depending on what brokerage you're at and things like that. We chose Silver Creek because it made more sense for what we wanted to do.
Yeah. And you were already at Silver Creek.
And we were already there. Yeah. But I mean, you can go so many different ways with the team aspect on what you want to do, right?
Yep.
All the girls take their own production. I don't have anything go under my name, so we're all individual there.
Okay.
I wanted everyone to be able to create their own business in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously we have the team and the team branding and everything. So we got those snazzy pink signs but everyone, is able to run and operate their business kind of on how they want to do it. And that was important to me because I wanted them, if they were to ever leave or anything, then they still have deals under their belt. And so that was important. But you can structure it so many different ways. And I think that was kind of the hard part was it doesn't come with like a rule book, right? It was just kind of how do you, what do I want out of it really? And what do I want to give? And what do I want to offer? And so, yeah.
If you didn't have the passion for why you wanted to do it, right? And if you didn't see the problem that you could help, then it might have been a lot more challenging to actually make it happen, right? It's like you could have somebody in your ear saying, hey, build a team. That's the next step in your career. But if you didn't have a reason for doing it, And your reason could have been override, right? From other agents, right? Which is probably not the best reason to do it. Maybe it is, I don't know. But if your reason was what you said it was before, then that passion probably helped you navigate through the noise or the lack of a manual, right? To be able to do it.
Yeah. If I truly didn't have that passion, then I would have never have started the team.
Probably wise.
Yeah. And now obviously it's evolved a lot more, right? Like now we all have kids and the majority of us. And so now it's been more of like, how can I help other women in real estate, right? Not necessarily moms, but how can I truly help them be successful in a career in real estate and help be a mom at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Because that's hard. The stay-at-home mom thing wasn't for me. And so, trying to juggle both of those and being present at home isn't easy. And so, we are all a team. And so there's times where I'm meeting Haley and I'm watching her kids in the car while she's at a showing, or she's pulling up, to my listing and sitting with the kids in the car. And so we all just kind of pull together and help each other because this is the season of life that we're in and it's temporary. And, but that's the only way that we can really, truly support each other, in this career. Truly, really,
Yeah, and I think it's super cool to be able to work with close friends as well, right? And you just mentioned something very simple, but hey, I'm going to meet Haley at a listing and watch her kids for her so that she can go show a house.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like that's really hard to do if you're just a solo producer, right? Tell me a little bit about what your expectations were as a young mom getting into real estate and how it actually played out. Would you say your eyes were wide open, or would you say it's trended to be very different than you expected?
It's hard to go back and remember like I didn't really have like any thought on what it was really going to be like necessarily. I've always been the type of person that's like, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
And so when I had cash, I took that carrier and we went everywhere, and he went on every showing with me. He was everywhere. Yeah. Like I carried him around, and he is really embraced the whole career of real estate. Honestly, like you'll ask that kid how many homes make up a subdivision and he will tell you. You will ask him what a vacant house means and he'll tell you. So he is like, he loves it. And that's how he was raised, was on real estate. And so I hope that at least one of them will take over. I don't know.
Take over the family business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll probably have to be Jet because it is a woman team, but we'll see. She's a firecracker.
She's your one daughter, or do you have?
Yeah, just one. Yeah,
so you've
the
got
other
boy,
two are boys.
And then boy, girl. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
So you've got 3 kiddos, 8, 5, and 3. Yes. Running a real estate team obviously is probably challenging to integrate that into family life. What's making you guys busy outside of real estate right now? What takes your time? What are you excited about?
Oh, well, we're really busy with sports right now. Okay. Cash is playing football. He loves flag football. Ford just started baseball.
Okay.
And Jet did soccer. So that's been interesting. They're all trying to find their ways right now. Yeah. But we are a boating family, so we love taking out the pontoon boat, and the kids are huge into fishing.
Nice.
They also do their dirt bike things, and we always go out to Eagle Bike Park and stuff like that. So they love the outdoors.
Nice. So I'm sure the fishing and the dirt biking is all from you, right? That was your influence on the kids?
I am more so like the fishing. My dad is a big fisherman. He lives on the Cumberland River.
Okay.
And so he...
That's Tennessee, right?
He is in Kentucky.
Okay.
So, he does a lot of fly fishing. So every time he comes out here, he's always doing that. But
nice.
Mike was more so the dirt bike type stuff. So
Mike's your husband?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you guys like to play, it sounds like.
Yes.
Always active. And your kids' names are so cool. Cash, Ford, and Jet.
Yeah. Well, with the last name Miller, you have to get creative.
That's true. That's fair. Who gets the credit for those names, you or Mike?
It was all pretty mutual.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They, with cash, then that just kind of started like the 4-letter trend. So yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
They're unique and very memorable.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, so as we're moving into summer, you guys are probably looking to get out on the waterways then, right?
Yeah.
What's that? When's your first trip?
Oh, I don't know. We damaged the boat last summer, so the propeller has to get fixed. So we're working on that.
Okay.
But we usually go out to Brownlee,
Okay.
and then McCall.
And Brownlee's kind of northwest of
Yeah,
where
it's
we
like
are, right? That's
Oregon.
the Snake
It's
River.
like 45. It's like Idaho-Oregon border, like
Yep.
off of Huntington.
Yep.
So that's usually where we'll go fish and everything like that.
So don't anybody that is listening take your boat there.
Yeah,
because that's
don't
like their
go there.
secret spot. Just go to Lucky
Yeah.
Peak with the rest of us.
Yeah,
where it's
go
busy.
hang out at Lucky Peak.
All right. Well, we talked about this earlier, so let's get back to it. You have clients that you've helped over the years, probably many of them. It's definitely easier to give value. Well, I don't know if it's easier. I think if you give value to your clients, they're much more likely to come back to you, and that might be easier than continually just always looking for new clients. What's it look like to be in Mack Miller's ecosystem as a client that has closed with you over the years? What's that look like?
Yeah, we're really good about keeping in touch.
Okay.
We do like a DTD2, making sure that we're, always connecting with them.
DTD2, does that stand
Yeah.
for something?
It's like a Keller Williams model.
Okay.
Sorry, Silver Creek, don't hate me. But yeah, it's basically just making sure that you reach out to them multiple times throughout the year.
Okay.
Client events, but we're also really good on like pop buys
Okay.
and loving on them, sending them gifts
Yeah.
throughout the year. So yeah, that's the main.
Would you say DTD2? Is that, did I say it right?
Yeah. And it's basically breaks down between like their last names. And then it's a spreadsheet throughout the year. And
Okay.
it'll tell you like who to contact. So it's basically like, just think of it as like last names A and W. That's who you're going to contact for that day or
Okay.
that week, right?
Yeah.
You're going to call them and then you're going to text letter T.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So then you don't forget anyone.
Yeah.
Right. And so then that's how you label your whole database.
So if you would, it's a system, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Awesome.
a system so that you don't forget anyone.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things I've been learning lately, and this is the head to heart transition, right? You can read. I'm a big time reader. I'm listening.
Do you actually read or do you do Audible?
Let's be honest. You'll find me rocking around Paramount neighborhood with headphones and coffee.
There you go.
No matter what time of year it is. I'm just
Yeah.
getting steps in a couple days a week. I'm listening to a book called Expert Ownership. It's the second time through. A couple of Christian guys, brothers, that built a real estate business, and their goal was not to be successful in real estate. They were trying to build a business to basically create passive income for them. And they figured out how to do it, which is elusive for most of us, right? But it's funny when you listen to something a second time through or a third time through, or who knows, like you can get great advice from a great coach and it may not resonate because it just sits in your head as like, oh yeah, that's good. But until it travels down that highway to the heart and becomes a passion, I do feel like it's difficult to ever successfully implement it. And so even yesterday morning, I'm listening to this book and I get done with a specific chapter. Actually, Amy called me in the middle of it, interrupted me a little bit, which is great. And she got her ear talked off because I was in the middle of being inspired by this book. And it was basically what it was for me was what you just said. There are people, so whether they're partners or whether they're clients, they live in a funnel, right? And there's a relationship management system that needs to be in place so that you can systematically touch them. Like, what if you wanted to replace yourself and hire somebody else to do your job for you? If you didn't have a system for them to plug into, now hopefully they would buy into it from a head to heart standpoint, but if you didn't give them a system to plug into, then they probably wouldn't be able to replace you very well.
I was on a coaching call yesterday. And they basically said, can your business run without you there?
Wouldn't it be amazing if it could?
Yeah, it would
Maybe
be
yours
really
could.
nice. Oh, no, it couldn't. I would love to get it there, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, so there's 10 of us that were on the call. It's like all top producing throughout the whole United States. And one of them said, I feel like I can't leave to go to the beach, basically, and, be able to enjoy my time. And so that's where this comment came up was of having your business successfully run and not have your pipeline basically take the hit for it while you're gone, right? So how can you have systems in place so that that doesn't happen, so that your business can run efficiently and still have listings come up, still have buyers reaching out, right? So that your pipeline doesn't take the hit. And so that's kind of my goal for this year, right? And going into next year is being able to have those systems in place so that everything can properly function.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to do everything, right?
100%. And that should be one of our series questions. So hopefully Amy wrote that down is, can your business, what did you say? Can your business run without you being there? Or can your business
Can your
succeed?
business successfully run without you there?
Yeah. We're going to do a series on that because the answer to that question is going to be for most of us, no, it can't. And then we're going to, we'll branch into all the whys, right?
But it should.
It should be able to. Yeah.
So what systems need to be in place in your business so that that can happen?
Yeah. And there's endless resources out there that all of us could read, listen to, coaches, et cetera, that would tell you all the ways to make that happen. And then I think for me, where I'm always resistant is like, okay, great. Yeah, that sounds good, but I'm not passionate about it. And so therefore it doesn't translate into a system that's in my business.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Think how many times you could be at Lucky Peak.
It'd be amazing. If I could be at Lucky Peak 5 days
Think about all your time that you could have back if you just put systems in place.
Well said.
See?
Yeah. I'm not resistant to it.
We're going to hold each other accountable.
Yeah. I'm not resistant to it now, but this is funny. I've been doing this for 8 years as well, same as you. And it just takes a while to understand the different nuances, the different pillars of the business that are super important. Mm-hmm. And then you just get started. Well, I'll just call somebody, right? And then I think you can muscle through activity and behavior for a while. But if it's not systematic, then it's not going to sustain, right?
Right.
And then if it's not coming from the heart, then it's also not going to sustain. Because the reality is, if your system's telling you to call somebody, even if it's telling you that, you still have to get in the right mindset to do it, right?
Yeah. But if it's all right there and you just have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Then that's going to decrease time rather than if you're like, okay, well, who do I have to call today?
Right. Decision fatigue, I hate it.
Yeah. But it's all there. It's telling you who to call.
So later today, do you have a list of folks you're supposed to call? Mm-hmm. What is the motivation that you would share with me that's going to make you make those calls?
It's little things, right? It's just reaching out to them. It's not even, when I reach out to them, it's not even about real estate. It's just checking in, right?
Correct.
So it's just saying, hey, what are you doing? Hey, just wanted to say hi, seeing what your memorial plans are, whatever.
Yeah. Think of a reason to call that's authentic and real, right?
Right.
And care about the person, be interested in what's happening in their life more than you care about your hopefully finding your next deal, right?
Have you heard about the 10-10-5?
No.
That's another one for you. Okay, so it's like 10 things, because we're already scrolling on social media, right?
Yep.
So you like 10 people's things, you comment on 10 people's posts, and then you message or share 5 people's things. So you do that every single day.
10 likes, 10 comments, 5 shares.
5 shares or 5 messages.
Nice.
So those could be like, whether it's someone's having a birthday. So usually every single day I'll look and see who's having a birthday and I'll just write like happy birthday, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe someone had I'll see a post on there and someone had a life event or something, right?
Yeah.
And so then I'll send them a message, or maybe it's worth sending them flowers or cookies or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So doing that every single day is 10-10-5.
Love it.
That's another one for you.
Yeah.
A system.
Got to have a system.
Because you're already scrolling.
Some of us are already scrolling. I would say, I actually don't scroll all that much.
Really?
For me, I have to put it in my calendar to do it.
Oh, man.
And part of it is I'm so impressionable that I have to be careful what I listen to, because I'm like a golden retriever who says, ooh, that's a good idea. And then it's like, whoop, eyes off the ball, going to do this now. It's like, well, hold on just a minute.
Do you time block?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
In the mornings. And I live and die by a calendar. This is like turning into a coaching session here. This is amazing.
I think you need to put on there just 10 minutes for 10-10-5. Just 30 minutes for DTD2.
I'm going to change my calendar appointment with myself right now and call it, instead of, I'll tell you what it says. This morning, every morning, engage on socials is what my calendar says. I'm so robotic. That's terrible. I'm going to put
And what do you do for engaging on social?
It's that. It's scrolling, it's liking, it's commenting.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to change
now
it
you'll
to
do 10, 10, 5.
5. I'm going to change it right now. Oh, Amy just texted me 10, 10, 5. This is amazing. 10, 10. Oh, read the text out loud. Sorry. Oh, and my wife's calling me too at the same time.
Accountability.
All right. So Amy just texted me from here in the studio. She says the 10-10-5 format is a dynamic client meeting and discovery framework designed to maximize engagement, build trust, and drive actionable outcomes within 25 minutes.
There you go.
There we go. We just created value for whoever is listening or watching.
I love it.
So I think we've done an amazing job of answering the question, how do people find you when they need you for your services, right? And I think for you, it's all about being systematic, but also being authentic and caring really well for the people that have come into your funnel, right? And have come through, and now they're your clients because you want to continue to serve them and engage them for the long term. I think we leave it there. We don't need much of a goodbye, but thank you so much for your time. I learned a lot. I don't always learn a lot. That's not necessarily true. I learn something every time I get to do this. It's why I really enjoy these conversations, is because we can script them ahead of time a little bit, but then inevitably we almost didn't talk about anything.
I think we went way off.
Yeah. We didn't, that's okay. That's okay.
That's great.
Yeah. We're looking to just be authentic, real, and provide value. And so thanks for giving me value. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Mack.
Thank you so much.